Ang vision ko sa mga nag-aaral dito ay umangat kayo sa mentalidad ninyo not only to get a career from here or a profession from JMC, but you will also get your true education that will make you a better person because of values.
Ayan, good morning. Ayan, hello everyone. Hello to all our viewers. Ayan, I'm Ariel Desades po. I'm your host for today's webinar. Ayan, and welcome to our new episode of JMC Edu Trends. And this webinar is entitled Examining the Evidences Supporting Children with Special Needs. Ayan, so thank you so much. We would like to give our big thanks and also our deepest gratitude to the JMC FI family for allowing us to conduct this webinar, particularly the IBED department, and of course to our very unproductive and very dedicated staff of Office of the Guidance Center. Thank you so much for this great initiation. But to formally start the program, I would like to request everyone to feel the presence of our Almighty God through this audio-visual presentation. Okay, so now we're back. So, I would like to invite everyone if may gusto pa po kayong gustong i-invite to watch our webinar, you can do so. Or please, you can share this live video through Facebook and YouTube. Ayan, para mas maraming makakita at makapanood ng ating webinar. Okay, to formally welcome us all, let us invite on screen the IBED guidance facilitator for junior high school and senior high school department, no other than Mr. John Floyd P. Dumapias. Good morning, Sir Floyd.
Good
Ayan,
morning,
sir.
Sir Arya. Ayun. Okay. To our beloved founding president, Reverend Dr. Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, our school president, Dr. Felix C. Chavez Jr., school administrator, Ms. Rosemary N. De Magnaong, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Marietta A. Muñez, Vice President for Human Resource Management and Development, Ms. Marina L. Ambrosio, Vice President for Finance and Administration, Ms. Maria Norfeli Marimon, OIC Vice President for Communication and External Affairs, Mr. Jacinto P. Denden III, Vice President for Community Extension and Alumni Affairs, Mr. Genesis O. Silatan, Vice President for Research and Quality Assurance, Dr. Josefina Ortega, to our integrated basic education principals, Mr. John Chavez and Mr. Brian Alberto, deans, program heads, faculty and staff, parents, guardians, students, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to all. We believe that every child is born with a mission and purpose, considering that each one has a unique special gift given by God. And as a parent to your child, have you questioned yourself if there are certain things that might not be able to give to your child, or just because either you or your partner has a defect because your child is special? Some parents are not open to this kind of topic, especially because they cannot accept that their child has special needs that are different from other children. Just because they will not listen or make any connections of contact with you will make them somehow different from others due to others' perceptions, prejudices, and conventional views about them. Children with therapies and sessions are being provided by the professionals. Also, parents must exert their efforts to see what is best for them and for their children to be able to handle and cope up with their situation. Children with special needs are like an angel. The cuteness of their faces, their charms, and everything that describes them as an angel. These children can teach us that no matter how hard our situation is, we have to appreciate the things that God has given to them. Also, we should give them our tender, loving care so they can feel that they are valued and appreciated by other people. In this parenting webinar series part 2, we hope that you, our parents, our partners in molding our children, and our viewers out there will open their minds with regards to this topic and be aware of your child's development. In behalf of the Office of the Guidance Center, in collaboration with the Integrated Basic Education of the Jose Maria College Foundation Incorporated, I welcome you all in today's parenting webinar series part 2 entitled Examining the Evidences Supporting Children with Special Needs. We hope that you will be able to learn and embrace more that role of being good and best parents to our children. Thank you, and once again, good morning.
Ayan, so thank you so much, Sir Floyd, for that very welcoming message and very informative sa lahat ng mga viewers natin. No? Maraming salamat po. So uh, what you have said earlier, no, children with special need are like angels. So it is indeed that these children na may mga special needs ay sila yung angel from above. So thank you so much, Sir Floyd. And yeah. So let's now proceed with the next part of the program, which is the discussion proper. And to further discuss this topic, please allow me to introduce to you our resource speaker. And so Our guest speaker for today's webinar is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education in Rizal Memorial Colleges, a graduate of Master of Arts in Special Education in Holy Cross of Davao College, and currently she is taking his doctoral degree in SPED in Cebu Technological University and working as a special education teacher in Nevada, USA. Please allow me to welcome our resource speaker, Miss Sharon Alfaraz Gabion. Let's give her a big warm round of applause. Yan, an online applause to Ma'am Sharon. Yan, good morning, Ma'am.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Yes, we would like also to extend our thanks to you po kasi you have accepted our invitation to speak for this very great initiation from the Office of the Guidance. So once again, thank you so much po, ma'am.
Yeah, I love Jose Maria College.
Everyone loves JS. Okay, so I will not take this too long, ma'am. Ma'am, I will now give you the floor and for you
Mhm.
to start your presentation. So take it away, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. The title of our webinar today is Examining the Evidences Supporting Children with Special Needs. What are those evidences and how can we support children with special needs? So, what does it mean when an individual has special needs? Special needs are commonly defined by what a child can't do. So, here in our school, we compare children with their typical peers. So, if the milestones are unmet, if there are foods banned, activities avoided, and experiences denied, uh, there is a um, chance that a child has special needs. These hindrances can hit families hard and may make special needs seem like a tragic designation. But of course, these are not the only factors or signs that a child has special needs. Some families may lament over their child's lost potential because, oh, my firstborn child is first honors. She can do this, she can memorize a lot, but why is it that my second child could not speak, uh, dislike homeworks, and, you know, uh, parents will complain to the school. And so it's really a sad experience or a sad situation. And some conditions become more challenging and troubling with time. Other families may find that their child's challenges make triumphs sweeter. So there are also families who accepted the disability of their children and they find that the weaknesses are often accompanied by amazing strengths. So just like what our hosts were saying a while ago, that special children are angels. So it doesn't mean that um, we feel that they lost their some potentials, but there are a lot of strengths that they can show to the world. Special needs is an umbrella term for a wide array of diagnoses. Why is it very important to understand this different special needs designation? So one thing is so that we can obtain the needed services. So for example, if the child has difficulty speaking, we can tap the services of a special or a speech pathologist. If they have a hard problem with hearing, we can tap the services of an audiologist or a special educator. Another is set appropriate goals. So here in our school in Nevada or other parts of the state, uh, students with special needs have IEPs. An IEP is an individual education plan. So in the individual education plan, we set goals that are unmet by the child, and we focus on those goals so that um, the children will find success in education or in the classroom. Another is gain understanding of your child and the stresses your family may face. So it's very important that you know all these, symptoms so that or signs so that you can observe and that you can take necessary actions to help your child, because parents, first of all, should be uh, advocates of their children. So there are different special needs issues among children. There is a medical issue or medical issues. There are behavior issues, learning issues, mental health issues, and development issues. And we are going to tackle some of these issues here in this webinar. Okay, the first umbrella mentioned is the specific learning disability. So if you see, there's only one umbrella, but under the umbrella, there's a lot of, disabilities. Uh, Example of that is dyslexia, dyscalculia, nonverbal learning disorders, central auditory processing disorders, ADHD, dysgraphia, language disorders, aphasia, dysphagia, auditory processing disorder, sensory integration disorder, or dyspraxia, visual perceptual or visual motor deficits. So let's start with dyslexia. What is, okay, can you move forward, please? All right, another umbrella is the autism spectrum disorders. So this is about behavioral. The other one, the first one is about learning disability. This one is behavior. So autistic disorder, Asperger's disorder, uh, childhood disintegrative disorder, Rett's disorder, pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified. Okay, let's start with the first umbrella. Okay, what is dyslexia? Dyslexia, if your child has dyslexia, um, she or he may have difficulty in learning to read or interpret words. Um, she or he will have difficulty identifying letters, because if he looks at letters, they are either upside down or the letters in the words are scattered, and he has difficulty like learning other symbols but do not affect general intelligence. So what are the areas affected by dyslexia? So these are the areas: spatial temporal, memory difficulties, motor control, reading, spelling, listening, and writing. All right, let's start with spatial temporal. What are the signs that she has dyslexia or he has dyslexia? So a child may have difficulties with telling the time. There's left and right confusion. So he does not know which one is your left hand or right hand, or which one is the right direction or the left direction. So if you tell him direction, he does not know where to go, whether he will go to the right or the left. He will get lost easily. So another is memory difficulties. So the child will have difficulties sequencing events. So if you ask him or her like what happened in the story, he wouldn't know like what happened first or what happened in the middle or what happened at the end. The child may have difficulty memorizing phone numbers or the alphabet and timetables. Also has difficulty like remembering dates. Another is motor control. Um, Motor means it can be fine motor, like using the hands, and gross motor, like using the whole body, the extremities, like biking, running, walking. So motor control is affected. They have hard time coordinating, uh, coordination problems. They have handwriting difficulties, difficulty copying because, they look at the words or the letters differently. The letters are in different positions. In reading, they losing place in text. So if they see a lot of words, they get confused. Moving or overlapping text. So um, if if a child with dyslexia is looking at this, so this term losing place in text is covering difficulty copying, so that words are overlapping. Moving or moving or overlapping text needing to reread. So they need to reread because everything is not clear to them. Um, they also have difficulty spelling. They cannot remember what words look like. They have difficulty hearing sounds. Similar sounds cause confusion to them. So that's how hard uh, it is for a child with dyslexia. Listening, they find background noise distracting, and they have problems note taking because, you know, similar sounds cause confusion to them. They could hardly decipher the sounds or the letters. They have problems note taking. I have mentioned that one. So they also have difficulty in writing. They cannot find the right word. Organizational problems. So they have difficulty organizing their thoughts and ideas and put them into writing. They have difficulty getting ideas on paper. That's what I mentioned a while ago. So if you have a child or at home or a student with dyslexia in school, it would be very hard. And if you don't know that this child has dyslexia, we might tend to judge that, oh, you are lazy, you are just pretending, what happened to you? You know, tuition is very expensive. Why are you like, where you're not studying, you're not practicing your letters? So we don't know that the child is already suffering within him or her. All right, next slide, please. So it's very important to understand how dyslexia impacts so many aspects of learning. Most of the problems relate to the way students learn in a traditional classroom with typical schoolwork. When we realize that people with dyslexia are visual thinkers who learn in a unique way, we can help them overcome many of the struggles. So um, it's very important that we know that they are visual thinkers, so we need to use visuals in teaching them. Try a therapy that focuses on the gifts of dyslexic students to teach reading and writing. So I got this from www.dyslexiagames.com, and they offer a lot of games, materials, and activities that will help a child with dyslexia or can help parents and teachers with dyslexic students. Another one is dyscalculia. What is dyscalculia? It is a severe difficulty in making arithmetical calculations as a result of brain disorder. But not all who have difficulty in math have dyscalculia. So just like me, I have difficulty in mathematics, uh, but I have a lot of like good teachers who help me and slowly, explain with lots of examples. I was able to like pass my math subjects. All right. What are the signs of children with dyscalculia? So just like dyslexia, they also have uh, the their areas, or the spatial temporal area is also affected. Their memory, counting, calculations, numbers, measures, and I cannot see the last word. Okay, let's go to another slide. Okay, can you kindly focus? All right, so the last word was measures. So in spatial temporal, they have difficulties with telling the time. They have left and right confusion. In memory, they cannot accurately recall number facts. Um, they constantly relearn and recap skills. Uh, they have organizational issues. And in counting, they have difficulty navigating back and forth along number line or sequence. They can lose place easily. They find counting in twos or threes very problematic. Um, they have difficulty like counting, like even like lining up the objects and counting one-to-one correspondence. In calculations, they lack confidence in their answers. Uh, there is problem transferring information. Like for example, 2 plus 3 equals 5, or you can do it like 3 plus 2 equals 5. So they have difficulty understanding this one. And in numbers, they have issues with place value. They don't know. They have difficulty like identifying the ones place, tens place, hundreds place. They struggle to understand chronology, uh, the order of time, problems. In measurement, they have problems handling money. They have difficulty counting and knowing how much. They they have difficulty working out change, like the times, struggle to understand mathematical concepts, speed and time, and map reading difficulties. So they have difficulty reading maps. So what are the signs of dyscalculia in preschool? So at a young age, you will see some signs that this child has problems, uh, or has dyscalculia. So in preschool, if you see your students or your child having difficulty in counting, and she is skipping numbers, she's skipping over numbers, like she would excitedly count like 1 2 3 16. So I have students like those in preschool. Currently I'm teaching preschool special education. So some of my students are counting that way, like 1 2 3 7 9 10. So doesn't seem to understand the meaning of counting. So they don't understand what it means to count. They have struggles to recognize patterns. So they don't know how to arrange objects from smallest to largest, tallest to shortest. And if you tell them to, okay, can you make an AB pattern? Like, for example, red car, blue car, red car, blue car, what's next? So they don't know what's next. They might say pink or yellow. So they have hard time so if they cannot recognize the patterns, even a simple AB pattern, they will have a hard time, because patterns can be complex in kindergarten. So in kindergarten, they have to do AABB pattern, ABC pattern, and arrange like a lot of objects according to their length, their size, their weight. So they have trouble understanding number symbols and number words. So they could not. They have a hard time connecting the figure, the numeral number seven, with the word number seven, or the word eight to a numeral eight. So they have trouble understanding and connecting those numbers. Struggles to connect a number to an object or group of objects. So if you are teaching about set, like you place five fruits in a basket, and then you will let them choose the number. So they have a hard time uh, finding the number five and put it together with a set of five fruits or five objects. So they cannot connect numerals to counted sets of objects. In grade school, they have trouble learning and recalling basic math facts. So even a simple like 1 plus 1 equals 2, they have a hard time. So usually we have a joke before in the Philippines, like 1 plus 1 equals 11. So that might happen, Still, they still uses fingers to count instead of using more advanced strategies. So typical peers, like children that develop uh, uh, normally, they can do like mental math. They can add using their memory, but these students with dyscalculia, they're still, you know even though they're like fifth grade or sixth grade, they're still using their hands to count. They struggle identifying math signs like the plus sign and minus sign and using them the right way. So maybe uh, they have the tendency to mix these signs. They have a hard time understanding math phrases like greater than, less than, and they have trouble with place value, often putting numbers in the wrong column. So in middle school, I think this is the sixth and seventh grade there in the Philippines and also here. Um, if your sixth grader or seventh grader find difficulty or struggles with math concepts like communi- commutativity, like 3 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 3, and inversion, being able to solve 3 plus 26 minus 26 without calculating, coming up with a plan to solve a math problem. So if in the test or like seat work, if you give them like word problems, they will really really have a hard time. And so you can just imagine that they will be so frustrated. So, so it's not laziness, they have struggle inside, has trouble keeping scores in sports games and gym activities. So you cannot assign them as scorers. You cannot assign them as like auditor, audit. They have a hard time with this. They have a hard time figuring out the total cost of things and keeping track of money. So you know even in they grow up, they have business, they have family business, and it involves like money or accounting. So they have a hard time, they have a difficulty. In high school, okay, one more, they avoid situations that require numbers, like games that involve math. So I think that is, evident even in preschool and elementary. And in high school, they struggle to read charts and graphs. So in mathematics, we have like charts, uh, like for example, in preschool, um, at the beginning of the school year, we make a chart like who rides the bus, and they will raise their hand, and then we will like they will place their like post it with their names, and then okay, so two rides a bus, and then who are being dropped off or rides the car, and then like for example like five of them, and then if a child has dyscalculia, they have a hard time like graphing, like counting, okay, one two total, to how many how many are being dropped off, um, five. So they have a hard time figuring that out. So they could not represent the graph, they could not interpret the graph. They have trouble applying math concepts to money, like making exact change and figuring out a tip. They have trouble measuring things like ingredients in a recipe or liquids in a bottle. They lack confidence in activities that require understanding speed, distance, and directions, and may get lost easily. So it's only not in math that they have difficulty, but in physics, there is like calculation of speed, and other subjects. So it's not only in math that they will have difficulty. Has trouble finding different approaches to the same math problem, like adding the length and the width of a rectangle and doubling the answer to solve for the perimeter rather than adding all the sides. So even those like simple measurement, they have a hard time. Okay, ADHD. This is one of the common disabilities um, that we can see, like even in the Philippine classrooms and even here. What is ADHD? ADHD is attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. It is a chronic condition including attention difficulty. They have a hard time paying attention. They are so hyperactive. They tend to fidget. They could not sit down for a long time. Like for example, if this webinar will take 30 to 1 hour or 2 hours, they will really have difficulty, and they are very impulsive. They are very impulsive in their actions and in their speech. So, what are the other signs of a student or a child with ADHD? Let's listen to this video. Can you click? Can you click the center? There's an arrow at the middle. I'm sorry about that. That scattered brain is just telling us more facts about a child or student having an ADHD. If you don't, if you're unable to click it, let's just go to the next slide. So if you have the access to, I'm sure all of you have access to um, internet at home. You can watch that one, the scattered brain, ADHD, the scattered brain, and you can uh, learn the other signs of a child having ADHD. Um, let's go to the next slide. I'm not seeing the slides.
Disorder or
Okay, this is it. Thank you. Actually, actually, you're successful in playing it. Can you go back, please? And then just click the sound is muted there. Just click it.
mental
Okay.
health disorders can
Can you
impact an
start at the
individual's
beginning?
daily life. Today, we will be talking about the ADHD brain. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, is a commonly misunderstood mental health condition and one that we will be discussing today. ADHD is recognized in the DSM Manual for Mental Health Conditions. It is characterized as a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects the executive functioning of the brain. Research suggests that genetics could play a role in contributing to ADHD, with statistics saying that 75% of children with ADHD have a relative with the disorder. There are two types of ADHD: inattentive, also called attention deficit disorder, and hyperactive, or ADHD. Depending on the type, the symptoms can differ. Individuals who have the inattentive type of ADHD can experience symptoms such as not paying close attention to details or making careless mistakes, trouble focusing on tasks or conversations, distraction while listening, not following instructions, and not completing tasks. Individuals who have the hyperactive or impulsive type of ADHD can experience symptoms such as fidgeting, tapping hands or feet, not being able to stay seated, and talking too much. These symptoms present themselves equally in males and females, and ADHD is not a sex-specific disorder. However, females are underdiagnosed and males are overdiagnosed with ADHD. In fact, clinic-based studies by the CDC have reported a male-to-female ratio of about 2 to 1 in ADHD diagnoses, specifically in children that are aged 5 to 17 years old. You have perhaps heard that ADHD is a male disorder. This is definitely a myth. There is a notion that hyperactivity is a male characteristic, and as a result, males are often overdiagnosed. Females are misdiagnosed with emotionally based psychiatric illnesses such as anxiety and mood disorders. As of right now, diagnosis of ADHD occurs through a comprehensive evaluation by a clinician who could be a pediatrician, psychologist, or a psychiatrist. There are two routes of treatment for ADHD. The first route is medication. The two medications used to treat ADHD are methylphenidate and amphetamine. Both medications target the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is responsible for executive functions. Hormones like dopamine and norepinephrine travel across the neuron through the synaptic cleft. The longer a hormone stays in the synaptic cleft, the longer its effects are. Dopamine helps with concentration. Under normal conditions, dopamine stays in the synaptic cleft for long enough to allow a person to concentrate. However, in individuals with ADHD, hormones like dopamine don't stay in the synaptic cleft for a long period of time, making it hard for them to concentrate. Methylphenidate and amphetamine work by inhibiting the reuptake of these hormones from the synaptic cleft by blocking their receptors so that they can stay there for longer, thereby helping with ADHD symptoms, specifically attention and thinking. Recent research, like the one conducted by Hodgkins and colleagues in 2012, concluded that both medications are equally as effective as each other, and they are prescribed on an individual basis. In addition to medication, psychotherapy is considered to be another route for treatment. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and behavioral therapy are two areas of psychotherapy that can help improve behavior, self-control, and self-esteem in ADHD patients. Psychotherapy sessions focus on three core areas, including organization and planning, distractibility, and cognitive restructuring. Recent research is looking at how video games could help with ADHD symptoms in children. A proof of concept study was conducted by Davis and colleagues at the Duke University School of Medicine. A video game called Project Evo was developed with high-quality graphics and reward loops designed to be engaging for children and to address the underlying areas of neurocognitive functioning that are impacted in ADHD. The results showed that 84% of treatment sessions were completed and that the intervention was appealing and well accepted. Significant improvements were found in the computerized attention task for the ADHD group and highly ADHD impaired severity subgroup. Improvements were also found in spatial working memory for the ADHD group and the highly impaired ADHD high severity subgroup, while there was no change for the non-ADHD group. The findings from this study hold promise that this treatment could help children with ADHD, and it is currently under review by the FDA. Several resources also exist to help those experiencing symptoms of ADHD. McMaster University has resources like the Student Accessibility Services, or SAS, and ADHD focus groups that individuals can participate in. Other general resources are children and adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, attitude, totally ADD, how to ADHD, and the National Resource Center on ADHD, which also operates a call center that has trained staff to answer questions about ADHD. Everyone should educate themselves about mental health conditions like ADHD and avoid believing common myths. We hope this video clarified what ADHD really is and the struggles that somebody has going through it. Thank you for watching.
Okay, other signs of ADHD is impulsiveness. They make careless mistakes and lack attention to details. Um, their homework lacks details because they tend to like forget it. They have uh, difficulty submitting in accurate homework. Uh, I used to work with an assistant before. um, I didn't know that he has ADHD. So ADHD is not only seen or experienced. It's not only experienced by children, but so also adults. So it's a lifelong disability. And one time, he opened the backpacks and took some like forms filled up by the parents, and he put it on the top shelf where it's hard for me to see because I'm shorter. And I was asking the parent, oh, please submit the form. And the parent would say, oh, I have submitted it already. Oh, it's very difficult that it's very important that you can find it because, my personal information are there. And then I asked my assistant, like, where is the form? And he said, no, I didn't see anything in the backpack. Uh, 2 months after I was cleaning the the classroom, this happens in Maryland. I was cleaning the classroom and I found a paper on top of the shelf. And when I read it, I think, oh my goodness, this is what we are looking for. And so later on, I learned that this person I'm working with has an ADHD. So when I learned about that, so of course I understand him because uh, it's really not easy. They make honest and mistake. So I see to it that I am the one like checking the backpacks of the students. So this organization and problem prioritizing. So they have a problem this organizing. They are very messy. They put their stuff in different places at home or in the classroom. They have disorganized work and they have poor time management. They also have problem focusing on tasks. They forget their daily activities. Uh, Examples of that is during class, if you have a student like always standing, not looking at you, could not focus, fidgety, like move his like hands and fidget his legs, like moving it back and forth, and usually they are so talkative. Um, they have difficulty lengthy readings, and they may forget to complete chores. So they also have trouble multitasking. Like for example, like you ask them uh, to do two chores at the same time, they have difficulty. So you have to give them one task at a time. So they have the tendency to avoid or dislike schoolwork or homework for because of them. For them, it's a lot. If you give them a lot of tasks, um, they might show misbehavior in the classroom. Another is they have poor planning. They may forget to complete their chores. They fail to follow through instructions, schoolworks. They can start the tasks that you have given them, but they might not be able to finish them because they loses track of the time, and they might get distracted and do another thing instead of finishing the task that you have given them. They have low frustration tolerance. They keep on losing things. They seem to not listen when spoken to directly. Their mind seems elsewhere. So it's not we cannot only see physical signs, but also like mentally, they are hyperactive. One example of that is I was tutoring a fourth grade boy before, and uh, he had a hard time like answering the problems that I gave him, and he would like crawl under the bed, scratch his head, and then he would like jump on the bed, and then he would say, "Oh, I am praying, Miss Sharon, I am praying that God will God will move you somewhere." She said, he said, and I said, "Why? You don't want me to be your teacher or your tutor anymore?" She said, "Yeah, I like you, but I cannot do this because even if you tell me to like sit straight, put my hands together, but deep inside my intestines are like moving, and I have a hard time," he said. So deep inside they are struggling. They have a hard time controlling, so they are very impulsive. Another disability is dysgraphia. It's the inability to write coherently as a symptom of brain disease or damage. What are the signs of a student having dysgraphia? Signs of dysgraphia are forming letters. They have a hard time, like if they write letter F, they have a hard time, like writing the correct stroke. Uh, they have a writing difficulty, especially in grammar. Um, they are not correct. Their spacing of the letters are incorrect. They have difficulty writing in a straight line, more especially if the paper don't have lines. The writing paper doesn't have lines. They have holding and controlling a writing tool, so it can be like among children, instead of holding the pencil a tripod grip, they will still be holding it palmar grip, and they have a problem holding, no, writing clearly enough to read back later, writing complete words without skipping letters. So here are examples of uh, writing of a child with dysgraphia. So they have misspelled words, and this one, the persuasive writing debate example is the child having a hard time putting his or her thoughts on paper, like the ideas are disorganized. And the third example is the other letters are falling below the lines, or going up, or going beyond the lines. Another one is aphasia. It is a language disorder caused by the damage in a specific area of the brain that controls that language expression and comprehension. So aphasia is the full loss of a language or ability to understand or express speech. It is caused by the damage of the language dominant side of the brain, usually the left side, and may be brought on. The other one is the, can you move to the next slide, please? The other one is the dysphagia. Um, this is just a partial uh, use of language. So aphasia is full, and dysphagia is partial use of language. Another one is auditory processing disorder, or the APD. It is a disorder affecting the ability to understand the speech. So if the student has this disorder and you are explaining about your lesson, or you are giving instruction uh, for a chore that you want your child to do at home, they will have difficulty understanding what you are trying to tell them, what you want them to do. And there's no known cause of this disability. It may be linked to ear infection, premature birth, or head trauma at a young age. And an audiologist will be able to help uh, diagnose if your child or student has APD. What are the signs of APD? Inability to understand speech in noisy environments, like typical peers, like the typical children, they're able to um, understand what you're trying to say, even if the other children will talk in chorus, or there's music in the background, or the TV is on. But for children with APD, they have difficulty hearing. Uh, so this affects their learning, and so they tend to have learning disability, and they are so very sensitive to sound. They have difficulty following directions because they don't understand the speech, difficulty distinguishing between similar sounds. Some examples of recommendations for children with APD is specific and strategic seating arrangement in class. So, like for those who have problems with hearing and with APD, see to it that they are in close proximity to you, or at home. When you give instructions, stay close to your child. Provide a device that help raise the levels of the teacher's voice. So here in our classroom, we have this microphone that we can, with a lanyard that we can put around our neck to increase the sound of our voice, the volume, and also provide written or picture-based instruction to accompany verbal presented instructions. So specific focus on auditory processing skills in a therapy setting will also be helpful for those with APD. Dyspraxia is a sensory integration disorder. It's a neurodevelopmental disorder of movement and coordination in which messages sent from the brain to the muscles are interrupted. It is often identified in early childhood but can also come on later in life after an illness or acquired brain injury. And it causes problems with tasks such as handwriting or tying shoelaces, or with motor skills like catching or riding a bike. So, what are the different types of dyspraxia? There are different types. There are a few different types of dyspraxia. I think there are three. So these are motor dyspraxia, causing problems with skills like writing, dressing, or skipping. And we have the verbal dyspraxia, causing problems with speech, and oral dyspraxia, causing problems with movement of the mouth and tongue. Some signs a child may have dyspraxia includes awkward or clumsy, with their hands, whatever they're holding, they keep on falling, difficulty with writing, doing up their buttons, they could not button their shirts or tie their shoelace, and they have difficulty running and jumping, difficulty learning new skills, and bump into other people's or objects. So they don't know how to go around if there's a post, or if there's another child in front of them, they don't know how to go around, they tend to bump them. Become tired easily, avoid tasks they find difficult such as handwriting, have difficulty changing their clothes, and make a mess when eating. Another one is visual perceptual motor deficit. They affect a child's ability to understand the information they visually see. So this is opposite of the auditory. So for auditory, they need the visual. This one is they have deep understanding, uh, visual visuals. This impacts a child's ability to read and affects their ability to draw or copy, and often leads to a short attention span. Okay, so we will go to behavioral. So one of the issues that we have mentioned before, they have learning, medical, and one of them is behavior. So autism spectrum disorder is example of behavioral issues of children with special needs. And just like an umbrella, uh, just like the umbrella, this one we just use this bubbles because there's a lot of disability comprising the autistic spectrum disorder. So one of them is the ODD, specific learning difficulties, ADHD, uh, anxiety, Tourette syndrome, OCD. OCD is the obsessive compulsive disorder, development coordination disorder, the gifted. Um, so even though like gifted, they are smart, but they have other problems in different area because even if he is like 6 years old, no, like even if he's 12 years old and he's already like thinking like a college student, he's performing like a college student, but still his like physical his emotional skills are still like that of a 12 years old. So there's problem of behavior there. So sensory integration disorder, auditory processing, depression, ADD, that's the attention deficit disorder. So I will just discuss to you the autism, because this is a lot, and maybe we can, if you want some of this to be discussed in the next webinar, you may feel free to request it from the guidance counselor, and I will be willing to like discuss them with you. So let's go to the next slide, please. So autism spectrum disorder, it is a developmental disorder that affects three areas. So the social, emotional, behavioral. So children that grow typically, they're able to make friends, they're able to connect, to make connections to adults. But for a student with uh, s- autism, they have a hard time interacting with other people. Their language and communication skills are affected. So some children with autism could be nonverbal all their life, and the others could be like verbal, but they are so scripted. They might say something that they hear often from television or from the teacher or from mom. Uh, like if you keep on using this, like, statement, they will keep on copying you. uh, their adaptive skills are affected. They have a hard time even if they're 6 years old. They don't know how to pull their pants down. They don't know how to go to the bathroom. They still um, pee in their pants. They don't know how to like wash their hands, um, brush their teeth, or like they have problems with dressing and eating. This consists of disorders of the development of brain functions. It is a collection of related neurological conditions that are so intertwined and impossible to pick apart that causes are unknown until now. So, autism spectrum disorder is really a mystery. It affects all families. It affects families of all races and cultures worldwide. Even though, like some doctors, they're already like, smart. Some are rich families, but some of these families have children with autism spectrum disorder, and the causes are not known until now. So it's a mystery. So what are the signs in communication? They don't respond to their names. If you call them, Anna, come here, Anna won't turn her head and go to you. Not all children with autism though, so some would not respond. For children with autism that experience early intervention and went to school, so we practice this one, like, Anna, okay, when I call you Anna, you will turn your head. So the assistant teacher will give prompts, like physical prompts, like, partial physical prompts, like, turn your head, or like guide guide physically, go, come here, go. Cannot explain what she wants, so they don't know. So they will show tantrums. So I have some preschool students that are like this in the classroom. So they are nonverbal, and they would cry, they would kick, they would pull and grab, because that is their way of communication. By showing those misbehavior, they are uh, trying to tell you that this is what I want. This is what you should do. They don't follow directions because they don't know that you are talking to them. They could not connect to you. They seems to hear sometimes, but not other times. Doesn't point or wave bye bye. Even if you tell them, um, if you would tell them like, look at me, even if you will like try to cup their like face with your hand so that they will they will see you face to face, but they will look at the sides or look up or look down. They cannot like look at you straight to the eyes. They used to say a few words or babble, but now does not. So usually children with autism, they uh, they grow developmentally okay for the first 3 years, but at the onset of 3 years old, this thing happens. Like all of a sudden, they don't know what to say. They lost their words, and they have this disorder. Next. Social behavior, they don't smile when you smile at them. They have poor eye contact, seems to prefer to play alone. uh, I have one of this in my classroom, and like we are playing with bikes, we are sliding. He would like go to another area in the playground and likes to play alone, and looks at the flag, like the movement of the flag that's blown by the wind. So they get to like just focus on one thing. They get things to him for him or herself only. Is very independent for his her age, so they don't know how to share. They don't know how to play. And like others could like dramatize, like act the role of fireman or a florist or a teacher. But children with autism have a hard time playing or acting roles. And the last area is oh, there's more to social behavior. Seems to be his on her own world. Seems to be tune people out. They're not interested in other children. They don't point out interesting objects by 14 months of age. They don't like to play peekaboo because peekaboo you have to have eye contact, and they don't try to attract their parents' attention. They have stereotype behavior. Stereotype behavior is like you see this behavior over and over again. Like one student is like shaking his hands, and he would like form this like a letter, and he would look up like that. So they are stimming. It's called stimming. They're trying to do that to like relax, stop for a while, stop their seat work for a while, and comfort themselves. They show unusual attachment to toys, especially circular ones, like the wheels. They like to rotate the wheels, and they have like just a favorite toy. And if you toy or thing like a blanket. Um, I have one student before, like his baby blanket. If you take it away from his backpack, he would like have a tantrums for the whole day. He would cry and cry because he wants to bring his blankie. Spends a lot of time lining things up. They are very organized, so they have a special arrangement of things, and if you're going to touch it, they would be get mad because this is the way I like it to be placed. repeats words or phrases, and sometimes this is sometimes known as echolalia. Like a stereo, they would repeat what you say. Like for example, "Good morning, Miss Sharon." For example, "Good morning, Anna," and Anna would reply, "Good morning, Anna." Uh, she would not say, "Good morning, Miss Sharon," because I'm the one greeting him. She would copy. The child would copy what I'm saying. All right. So I have a chance to thank you so much, parents, for like answering the interview. No, the survey questions of your guidance counselors, and I have the chance to like see all the questions that you have, and I really appreciate that you threw a lot of good questions for me, and I will try to answer them here. So one parent asked, like, how will I know if my child is developing normally? So here in school, we have lots of, here in the United States, we have, as a special education teacher, we have access to like child development chart or the different testing materials, and we see there the expected developmental milestone of a child from birth up to adulthood. And um, if you have, you can see this a lot of child development chart in the internet, or you can also ask your child's pediatrician a copy. um, on the next slide, I will show you a sample of a development chart. So if you research in the internet, you will type there developmental milestone from birth to up to this age, and you will see there, you will see the wordings there, all image. You just click image and you will see a lot of concrete examples. So here, developmental milestone. Uh, Wait a minute. Is it possible for you to, okay, developmental milestone, for example, in communication and social area. So by 2 months old, your child should be able uh, to hear sounds. So if your baby is not like, turning his head to the source of the sound, there's a problem there. And if you play peekaboo or uh, ano ba yung tika, you will surprise the baby, wah, like that. And if the baby is typical or has a normal development, the baby would smile. If he's already 9 years old, he would be able to say mama or dada. And if he's already 9 and not saying mama or dada and does not wave goodbye, so there's a problem there. And by 15 months old, he should be able to use 3 to 5 words. And at 48 months, that is 4 years old or preschool, 100% of language is intelligible. You can understand um, the way he talks, and he plays cooperatively with other groups of children. And then if you don't see these skills, your child does not manifest this, so he's not growing developmentally. For fine motor, so when you have a baby and you play the rattle, like you can move the rattle like from left to right, and if your baby tracks the rattle from left to the right, so he's doing okay, because tracking is very important in reading. In reading, we keep track of the words from left to right. And if he's not showing that one, so there's a problem there. Um, 36 months old, a 3-year-old, they are able to copy circles or simple shapes. And a 4-year old, they are able to, um, make squares. So that will be a good guide for you. Okay, the developmental milestone charts. And if you want a copy, I could like send one to your principal or guidance counselor, and maybe they could like produce it to you, especially for the preschool age level. But there's a lot of these examples in the internet. Okay, can we go to the next? So another parent, there's another. So another parent asked, how do we identify a child with special needs? So here in the States, we do comprehensive screening and evaluation for the child. So before the child or the student reach preschool, so I work with 3 years old and 4 years old kids. So they start school. It's their first schooling with me. But before they could reach me, they were already screened by doctors, and like the developmental pediatrician and the other service providers like speech. So all areas of their development, like social, emotional, physical, fine motor, language, they are all assessed. And when I get the child, they have an IEP already. Um, Somebody from Child Find, that is an institution where parents go for to have their children assessed, and the Child Find personnel, they tap uh, persons, specialists to help with the assessment, and they wrote the IEP. So they wrote there the information of the child, who were their parents, what happened during pregnancy and their birth, and what were the difficulties, the present levels. So they put there what the children can do as of the moment, and what are the skills that are unmet. And they wrote goals for the child, like, oh, this child could not identify the letters, so they wrote there a goal like identify the letters of his name. So we don't let the children like identify all the the letters right away. So we do scaffolding, uh, one letter at a time. So screening assessments examples are evidence obtained by teacher observation. So we observe the children in the classroom. Parents observe. They take. We take also parents' observation. Uh, Working with outside agencies, including medical professionals. So I know of one developmental pediatrician there in the, I think in Mindanao, the way before, like 15 years ago. I think 15 years ago. I was gone 15 years ago. There's only like one developmental pediatrician in Mindanao. That's why it's really hard to have children with autism or be assessed, because there's only one. But maybe now there's more. So you can ask your pediatrician for that one. And monitoring the pupil's progress in relation to objectives in the national literacy or numeracy curriculum. So we use the curriculum that the school district is wants us to use. And if the child the child falls behind, so compared to his peers, typical peers. So that's also like a sign of the children has special needs. And we use standardized tests, screening tool, and assessment tools such as Salford reading, uh, and other standard assessment tools. So, what are the signs of a child having problems, and what can I do to help him or her? So, all of those signs I just mentioned, do they need to be isolated from the usual children during the learning process? It really depends upon the disorder. Like in our school, I am teaching the self-contained class. Self-contained, that means all of my students have IEP. They all have special needs, and I am the only teacher. We play. We don't mix with other children in other classes in the playground, and we eat in the classroom. So it's really self-contained, contained to one class only. And the others, like for example, I have children who really make big strides and improve a lot, and they are ready to be with typical peers. So we meet with the parents and other IEP team members, and we recommend the inclusion class. That means they can join the typical peers with other students with special needs. So, for example, if an inclusion preschool class has 16, the maximum is 16 students, so 10 of those students should be typical peers and 6 with special needs, so that the typical peers will be models for language and behavior for these children. And we also have like the primary autism, this group of children, like kindergarten up. And we have also called the kids program. The kids program is preschool with that are preschoolers that are diagnosed with autism at an early age. Although I'm working with children with developmental delays, but I also have children that show sign of autism. And we do a lot of observations in the classroom that would match, if we can see that he's showing signs of autism. So we will call for a meeting, and um, somebody in the district, like a committee, will decide upon like reading the IEP, the evidences that this child should go to an autism classroom. So in the Philippines, um, way before we have this homogeneous class, like way before, like section A is all with grades average 90 up. Okay, your section A, section B. But research shows that that's not really child friendly, because children tend to be bullied, because they will know, like, oh, if you're section 8, that means you are dull, pinakabugo, bobo. But now we have heterogeneous mix. We mix the children because the those who are quick in learning could be models, like in groupings. If there are teachers here, so you group the children according to uh, not according to like one ability only. So you mix them. So one could be a writer in a group report, one could be the writer. So if this child is good in verbal, can speak fluently, he can be verbal. Those who are quiet can be the scribe. And those who are good in like visual, they can draw the pictures. So, so how to so they don't we don't have to we don't need to isolate those children, especially in the Philippines, that we don't have this like special classes. what are some ways in handling learners with special needs? So those are just what I have mentioned, and we have not mentioned some for ADHD. If you have children with ADHD or students with ADHD, so if they are so lihukan or masyadong magalaw yung mga ADHD, it doesn't mean that they are bad. No? So just help them recognize their own strengths, because children with ADHD can be generous, funny, and they're creative. So sometimes they are great procrastinators because they tend to get distracted. So if you're a teacher or a parent, just make it urgent. Put a deadline. If you have a chore or a homework that you need them to do. So work with new and novel ideas, because they get bored easily, and rewards reward system is very important. So it's not only intrinsic motivation, but the uh, external, the rewards, like something, an object or a toy or something that they like, that you can use as a reward. Okay. Next question. One parent asked, what are the factors affecting child's behavioral problems? So number one is fatigue. So you will, if you ask them, and I'm so tired, so they will not do the chore or the homework. Hunger. So some child go to school hungry. So it's very important. I really like our families in the Philippine setting, because families, Filipinos or Filipino moms or dads, they really prepare breakfast for their students. But here, most children, especially in Title I schools, where like 75% of the students are below poverty, so they eat in the classroom. And here in America, it's very cold, and they're also drinking cold milk. I don't understand why in the Philippines it's so hot, and we are in the morning we drink hot. But even though, like, here I'm America for a long time now, I still like hot foods, and it helps me, like, with memory and studying. So difficulty dealing with strong emotions. So it could be that a child have emotional problems, so they show misbehavior. Like some children have anger issues, or they are being scolded at home, or they are being scolded at school. Like they don't make good reports in school, so at home they would show misbehavior. Nutrition. When the child is malnutrition, so they might be they might have poor behaviors towards study and relating with other people. They could tend grumpy, and they lack the stamina in the activities that you give them. Expectations. So this is very important to know. Sometimes parents and teachers, we put very high expectations among the kids, and a lot of children are suffering depression because they could not cope with the expectations, like giving a lot of homeworks, seat works, bombard them with a lot of works, and parents expect a lot for them, like, uh, I was first honor when I was elementary, so you should be first honors too. So I have experienced like parents like those, like even to the point, like, complaining at school because why is it that my child is not in the honor roll? So when in fact, like, students might have, like, difficulty, could not reach like that high expectation. So it doesn't mean that, our child could not reach our expectation and be in the honor roll. They could not succeed in school. So we have to be succeed in their life. So we have to be careful with putting too much expectation, too much to do. So they may tend to like throw the worksheets, throw the I'm giving up, I'm not going to school anymore. So too much to do. Behavior disorders, so they might have autism, ADHD, lack of routine or consistency. So especially with the children with developmental delay, I have children with developmental delay say they don't know the routine. If they get inside the classroom, they would run right away. They don't know that they have to walk around and wash their hands first. So a lack of routine. Routine should be practiced at the beginning of the school year, and even in at home. Like if you're teaching potty training, you're potty training your child. So be sure that you're doing the steps correctly. So you don't mix. Like you do this. You like for example hand washing. You get soap first, and then the next day you teach them, no, don't get the soap first. You turn the faucet first. Okay. Same with other routines in like graders and high schools. So I remember when I used to work at JMC, Jose Maria College, we have this training, First Days in School by Harry Wong. That is a very good book. Like we practice the children, the routines in school, even how to open and close the door. We practice it so that, they don't have to bang the door, and what they're going to do when they first arrive in the classroom. What are they going to do? So there are step by step procedures that we practice to be able to like discipline the kids in school. Change in family situation, especially if military, and they get assigned to other places, and their mothers and children go with them, or families get couples get divorced, or hiwalay, and palaging nag-aaway, or you know there's a change in family situation that affects also the behavior of the child. And models, so who are modeling the children, what kind of programs are they watching uh, at home? So halimbawa yung mga programs dyan sa TV na nagjo-joke ng mga sarcastic, so the children tend to like joke sarcastically. And telenovelas that encourage like it's really out of this world, like it's not palaging nag-aaway, patayan. That's the children tend to follow that one. Expletives, yung nagmumura, so that children tends to follow that one. So your connection as a parent can affect the behavior of your children too. Are you so busy at work that you go home late at night, and that your child is already sleeping? It's very important that we make connections as a parent. So remember that from birth to 4 years old, that is the foundational age, and parents are the first teachers. So you are a very important factor in the development of your child at the beginning stage. Okay, next question, please. One parent asked, what are the tips on how to teach the child in speaking at an early age? So I got this tips from a speech pathologist. So I get an email every month. This is a sample about 2021, like October 2021. This is an example of an early communicator. So even though I have like 3 or 4 years old children, and they're still nonverbal, so At home, you can try a new food. Like Friday, try a new food today and talk about the food, what are the ingredients. So even if your child is not talking, you label the ingredients. Oh, this is carrot, carrot. Even if they won't respond to you, just say carrot, you do a monologue. Okay. So the next day, you can pull a toy out from the bottom of the toy box to explore. So just, this is a ball. Like, oh, I can bounce the ball. So you're teaching him the word ball and what to do with the ball, bounce. Or point to people or things. Oh, here comes daddy, daddy, that's sister. You label the things. Or if you go to the bathroom potty training, this is the toilet bowl, a toilet bowl. This is the faucet, water. So you label things. You can visit the library, read aloud, sing the itsy bitsy spider. So even though they're not following, they're not singing, just do it repeatedly because there's power in repetition. And later on, I have observed even in my kids that they are talking now. So the next stage, that is the early communicator. The next stage is the first words. Next slide. First words. So some children, they start saying one word or two words. Okay. So you can you can get a coin, piggy bank, and then say put it in. Let them follow directions. Play tag. Say chase me. And then later on they will repeat chase me, take a walk, look cats in your neighborhood. You can find things like that are in the garden. While you are eating, say please pass the food, or thank you, you're welcome. You can say that one. Let them read a book about cats or their favorite animals. Play with a Play-Doh. Uh, Play-Doh is very interesting to the kids. So you can just mix hot water or warm water with salt and flour, and you can make a Play-Doh already. You can research in the internet the ratio and proportion. Okay, so very simple activities, but you can elicit language uh, to the children. Okay, next is expanding language. So have your child read their favorite book, talk about money. They can play vet with stuffed animals, magplay ng bahay-bahayan sa bahay. Pag may mga laruan sila, they can act out. They can be mommy, playing with the dolls. Toys are very important for the kids. Play with them, and then model how to speak to them. Praise God, at a young age, my I have four brothers, and they are all married now, except me and my sister. And they each have a child, and they are all English speaking, even before they go to school, because uh, they always talk to my pamangkins. They always talk to them. They involve them with the work, the household chores, like washing the dishes, to pay the blanket, and hang the clothes on the clothesline, name the different clothings, gardening, they water, involve your children in the household chores and talk to them, model to them how to talk, and they will be able to talk. Okay, so next question. How to support a child with learning difficulties in school. So we have mentioned already some examples, and if there are teachers attending this one, you can, Ms. Jo, the guidance counselor, can make a survey too, like tell me the specific disability, and I we can hold a webinar on that one. And if somebody is here, a parent who would like to share about that specifically, just feel free to like type in the chat. And next question: how can I help my son get interested on his lessons, especially in Araling Panlipunan and Filipino? It's really hard for me because I'm not a parent, but as a teacher, um, we used to teach Araling Panlipunan, and I used to be a principal of Jose Maria College before, and I trained the teachers the multiple intelligence uh, theory by Howard Gardner. The multiple intelligence theory, it's a very excellent um, idea to be like followed by teachers and parents, because there we respect the different learning styles of the students. So students are learning differently. There are verbal students, bodily kinesthetic, visual learners, and so on. So Araling Panlipunan and Filipino, like for some kids, they tend to be boring because, Tagalog, they like to be English speaking. So it's hard. So in school, we survey the kids, their different learning styles and multiple intelligences. And when we teach Araling Panlipunan or Filipino, if the child likes music, he is a musical. So we tend to sing the concepts. We make music. We make it into a song. And Araling Panlipunan, if it's history, we do dramatizations or reenactment. I know of a very good Araling Panlipunan and Filipino teacher there in Jose Maria, Miss Norven. I used to train her, and her children. I would observe that he would let her students bring props, and they would reenact the different historical events in the Philippines. And the children are able to remember, especially if the child has ADHD. Oh, they like actions. They like to be actors and actresses. They like to speak. They like to be the bida. Mhm. And they will remember. They will remember the sequence because they are involved in the reenactment or the dramatization. Another one is if like memorization, you can use the mnemonics. Mnemonics is like, for example, cat. Uh, for example, NATO, NATO. That's a current event now. So you know, um, they can memorize just the first letters of the acronym, and they will be able to memorize, or they can connect the first letter to an object or to something that they remember. So I did that also because um, if you are here, the one who is asking this question, you are not alone, because when I was a student too, like I really have a hard time with Filipino, learning Filipino, but I like Araling Panlipunan. Okay, so you can make use of like rewards too, and always talk to the feel free to give feedback to the teacher. And you know teachers and parents are partners in educating their children. So uh, feel free to connect with the teacher and discuss like what can we do, what can you suggest to help my child. All right, next question: how can I really encourage my child to study? Okay. um, I remember my tatay. My tatay, he likes to be proud of us. And he would always ask me every year, can I come up the stage? But I'm not a child who would like be happy if I'm given like some stuff or toys. But like seeing my tatay happy, or like hearing from him words of praises, that would encourage me to study and try hard. But here in school, in preschool setting, um, if the children are not working, doing the things that we want them to do, we use the first and then strategy. So we would show the reward like a toy if they like the toy, and that children will reach it. Oh, I like the toy. And then, oh, you like it? Okay. First, you do this, then you can play with a toy. So at home, you can also, like, if they watch TV, you can say, like, oh, first study, then you can watch TV. Or they have something, they like something for Christmas or their birthday. So you can say, like, first, okay, we have to do this, and then you can have this during your birthday, like if they like those objects. Provide a schedule for watching TV. So there are researches that watching too much TV, even exposing themselves to cell phones, YouTube, is you know diminishing their interest um, in studying, and even interest in like listening to the teacher. That's why we teachers now, we are like we do a lot of things like the actress and actors in the TV, because if they are bored, they are bored with the traditional method of teaching. So we have to do a lot of things, like just to um, encourage them, to keep them interested and engaged with our activities. So provide a schedule for watching TV for your kids, limit. So you are the parent, so you should be followed. Okay. Next, what steps are taken by teachers to assist learners with special needs? Um, I remember in JNC before, I see to it that the teachers submit to me the lesson plans, so I see the the activities, if they are like developmentally appropriate for the kids, if they are congruent to the goals, if they help the children like attain the goals that we have for them. That's what we do, and I check the class records. So I always remind the teachers that if they are like failing, like for the first time, like call the kid or talk to the parents, especially if it happens 2 times. So do not wait for the parents to complain. And also parents, feel free to talk to the teachers. They are very willing to discuss with you like how to help your child at home. So here in America, we have this tier, the RTI, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier 1 is core, so we teach the whole group. And tier 2 targeted, if some of the students are like having a mild difficulty with this skill, we do a small group. And if the child has difficulty, easily distracted, cannot learn within a whole group or a small group setting, we do a uh, one-on-one instruction. Like we let the other groups like go to centers, or do the task by themselves or independently, and we deal with this one student. And then school and community collaboration. So uh, feel free to talk to parents. Some parents are professionals, they know a lot too. So parents, feel free to like give recommendations, suggestions. And if you have materials that you're not using at home, you can donate them. So I ask the parents that, like, for example, I'm talking about flowers or plants next week, so I let them donate flowers that they don't use. So if the child is able to hold uh, objects, they can uh, express right away because they see it, they hold it, they touch it. Okay. Teamwork. It's a teamwork. So administration, principals, assistants, parents, uh, teachers, you attend professional development just like this, and we do positive behavior intervention and support. So in our classroom, we have we list down the behaviors, the good behaviors that we want the students to show, and we give rewards to them. So we explain to them how it looks like. So show a picture of a child like cleaning up or arranging the things or helping somebody, how it sounds like. So we model how to say thank you, please, how to deal with disagreements during play, how to deal with bullies. So that's what we do. And we encourage the teachers to attend trainings, especially about special educations, to be able to to learn to learn the skills, or teach the students, to help the students with special needs. So another question of a parent is, what will be the interventions for children with special needs in terms of misbehavior during online and face-to-face class? Um, Parents, you can build a schedule. So this is an example of my schedule that I sent to the parents. So 9 to 9:15 opening circle, and if your child belongs to group A, he should attend the online session, and from between 9:35 to 10:15 he stays at home, so he could do his homework, and you know um, he could do household chores, talk to the parent, because we are also observing their verbal skills, and parents would report to us. So we assigned, the parents will copy our schedule, and they will also assign the task that their children will do in the classroom. And another one is, aside from building a schedule, okay, so here are the important uh, tips for building a schedule. So sit down with your child, discuss what he she or likes to do when it's not online, and um, bring your child's teachers to conversation. Like, for example, during face to face, what does the teacher do to keep your child behaved? So you can also ask them, like, what are the tips that you can do, or vice versa. The teacher asks, help him write out a weekly schedule with designated work. For bigger kids, they could follow a schedule already. Let them write their own schedule, and write them the time, the activities, and you can place a smiley or a sticker, or work done, or they can check it. Okay, this is done. That can guide them to follow the schedule. Okay, next tip is model hard work and persistence. So talk to your child, tell them how you became successful in school, how you became successful in your business, or when doing a hobby. Talk to your child, because they like to emulate you. So most children, they like to become like their parents, or they like to become like their teachers. Talk about successes. Uh-huh. And if you fail, talk to them how you, why you failed and what you did that make you fail, and what they can do to, you know, to become successful, so that they will be encouraged. Next. Set up a designated workspace. There are different children. Some children are easily distracted, like especially if it's online, and there are also other members in the family doing online. And if they are close to each other, you will hear a sound, "Ooh," especially if the cell phone is ringing or texting. So it will disrupt the online session. So if your child is easily distracted, you can assign a designated workspace, maybe in the kitchen or in the room. If he likes a quiet environment, and be sure that your child has easy access or close proximity to material, so your child does not have the excuse to go, "Oh, I'll go there because I need this," and then he's leaving the online class and the teacher is explaining. So make sure to it that, like, all the supplies are ready. Next tip. Get to know the online learning platform. So at the beginning of the online class, I have parents who have difficulty. So I set up for teachers, you can set up a day that you can just um, do a one-on-one session with your parents, like how to click, how to go around the internet, like using the Google Meet, or what are you using during online. Because like for me, some adults, like I have difficulty too, so I tap the help of other teachers who know about um, technology. Because I even don't know now, like the technology words, like cloud. What is a cloud? I know mouse already. Spend time on communication tools available to your child as well, like built-in messaging features, video conferencing tools, and interactive classroom functionality. So spend time talking with your child, do video conferencing tools, and you know, to there's a lot of like tutorial in YouTube too. So feel free to connect to your classroom teachers, to the classroom teachers. Okay, next. Stay in communication with your child's teacher. Say that's it. So that you can reach your children will be able to reach the goal, share successes. So teachers will be so happy, even if online class is a very difficult and very tiring. I got sick because of online class. Imagine sitting for the whole day and preparing materials for each kid. And here in the America, like some parents want, if they're not able to pick up the materials, I have to transport the materials to the child's home. So feel free to, like, connect with your uh, child's teacher, and be aware of what expectations are for your child. Be proactive, take part of the ongoing dialogue. Be sure that your child is on task. Okay. Another, give rewards or points. So even if it's online, teachers, you can make a graph, type their names there, and you can drag stickers. You can ask them which sticker do you like, and you can drag it to the after their name on the chart. And students, love that one. Or always give verbal praise. So both parents and teachers can do that. Okay, next question if we have. Okay, one mom, bakit sobra binibigay sa mga bata to the point di sila makarest? So, as I said, talk to your child's teacher and discuss modifications in instructions and activities, especially if a child has special needs. Okay, so maybe you can talk to a child, like if there are like 5 pages, they can only do 3 pages for a special needs. 10 items, the child can only do 5 items. So we do that even before, like when a quiz, during quiz, uh, this child uh, uh, has this type of questions. And for children, students who have like can understand or comprehend higher level questions, these are the questions that we throw to them. So modify modify instruction, modify activities, modify the questions, modify the test. Okay, so remember, teachers, that parents are working also. So it's very difficult to be a parent, especially if the parents with 5 kids, and they have to like jump from one kid to another because they have 5 children doing online class. And good if they are just having modules because they can like do it in another time. But if just think like a parent. Okay, and parents, like, teachers are also parents. So just be calm and talk to the teachers and find a solution. Okay, next. So I have this encouragement. Every strength has a corresponding challenge, and every challenge has a corresponding strength. So it doesn't mean that they are gifted or they are bright students. There's no challenge, there's no problem at all. Even if they're not special ed students, there's no problem at all. And every challenge has a corresponding strength. So it doesn't mean that they are children with disability, they don't have strengths. They have a lot of strengths. The inattentive child may be a deep thinker. Mhm. Like me. I'm so inattentive. Like I'm looking at you, but in my brain, I'm already like making connections. I get lost. I'm already like thinking this is what I'm going to do with the first thing that you have mentioned. I'm making connections, and I think a lot. So an inattentive child may be a deep thinker. The uncooperative child may be a natural leader. The emotionally charged child may be gifted with exceptional empathy. So it doesn't mean that they are misbehaving, they lack empathy. The rule defying child may be an out of the box innovator. So it can be that they are not following instruction because they have their own idea. So feel free to ask the children. So if you don't like my idea, what's your idea? So it doesn't mean that we are parents or teachers, we are adults. We have the best ideas. Children, students have the best ideas too. When faced with challenging behaviors, look for the corresponding strength, especially in the classroom. ADHD, masyadong malikot. Give them a role. They can pass the papers, pass the books, rearrange desks, especially those like, so they could use their energy to what else? When faced with challenging behaviors, look for corresponding strength. So at home, okay, try not to nag the children. Okay, try to praise them and, gamitin natin yung kanilang strength to do things that we like them to follow, and focus on nurturing that gift while providing gentle guidance and coping skills for the challenging areas. So each parent, teachers, or guidance counselor, it's not only the job of the guidance counselor at school. That is the essence of working with instead of against our children. So work with them, no, not against them. Hmm. So if they don't do the homework, give them another like time, give them extra time to do it. So teachers also think that, like, not all families have computers. Okay, not all families have access to electric lights. So maybe palaging nagba-brown out, or they don't have internet, they could not research. So, you know, have a survey. Okay, so we want to be successful in the classroom. So we find means to, like, solve these problems and help families. Okay, next. Okay, so a while ago I presented, like, there were two families, the parents who feel sad that they have this special education kids. So the other families are happy and they use the strengths of the children. So if you are a parent, okay, which which one do you belong? Are you sad or you are victorious? And if you're not, you can be victorious, a very excellent parent by, especially attending this seminar and, doing the suggested recommendations to help your child in school and at home. Okay, if you want to have a copy of the references, feel free to contact the guidance counselor. She has the copy of the PowerPoint and she could email them to you, or you can, yeah. Okay, that's the end of our webinar. If you have any question, feel free to uh, type it in the chat box, or no more. Okay, so parents, thank you so much for attending this webinar. If you have any concerns, feel free to talk to Mom Jo, and she would relay your concerns to me. And if there's anything I could help, especially the high schoolers, some parents have high school kids, and some of them said that they don't have questions for now, and maybe you have questions later. Feel free, and teachers too. Okay, thank you very much for having me this time. I feel honored. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much, Ma'am Sharon, for sharing your knowledge and expertise in this kind of field, to everyone. And it is indeed a very helpful, kasi alam naman natin most of our parents are struggling in dealing with their children, especially with those parents na may mga anak na kailangan ng mga special attention and special needs. And we are so grateful that we have you here in this program. And thank you so much, ma'am. So actually, the next part of the program is open forum. But as we can see earlier, no, nakita naman natin na may mga questions na binigay yung mga audience natin through, I guess, a link that was shared by one of the facilitators, and then Ma'am Sharon was able to answer immediately those questions. And ayan, with her all knowledge, I hope and we hope na nasagot niyo yung mga tanong niyo. And if you have any questions na gusto niyo pang raise or concerns or ano ba, clarification, you are free to do it. Just type it on the comment section. Ayan, nasa baba. And of course, before we proceed with our awarding of certificate, alam namin na may mga audience dyan or may mga viewers na gusto mag-inquire about Jose Maria College. So, We would like you to watch a video presentation prepared with the marketing department in order for you to know about what is JMZ all about. Let's roll VTR.
Ayan, so good morning. Hello, Sir Ariel. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Very
you
good
so
here
much.
as well.
All right, so good morning, everyone. So on behalf of JMCFI's marketing department, of course, the JMCFI family, I would like to extend my warmest thanks to, of course, the people behind this webinar led by Ma'am Loy Estrella with, of course, Sir Ariel, Ma'am Jocelyn, Sir Floyd, and the rest for this opportunity to present to our dear parents because our audience now are the parents from the IBE department, no? So I would like to share or present the programs that we offer here in JMCFI. So I wanted to play a video clip of the message of our founding president, Pastor Apollo Sikiboloy, but intended actually to our dear students. But since our time is limited, so please allow me to just share the gist of his message to each and every one of us. Since you parents are the first teachers of every student that we have in JMCFI, kindly or please share our founding president's message to your children. According to our founding president, the educational standard that he wants our students to have is excellence. He wants that the school's standard is high so that the mentality of every product of JMCFI would also be on the level of that excellent mentality so that they can be a par with the first world people who have the mentality of a first world country. And of course, to achieve this mentality, our students should be able to be educated, not just academically, but in values as well. So sabi nga ng ating founding president, magaling man daw sa subject, maganda man daw yung career, bastos naman ang ugali, so wala din siya. So they will never be in the potential of their knowledge and they will never be successful. That is why in JMCFI, the founding president's vision to every student is to set their mentality high and get a true education that will make them a better person because of values. So what are these values? These are the values of honesty, hard work, and sacrifice. So these will bring our dear students to the ladder of success, whatever their profession will be. So this is what JMCFI is actually giving to our dear students. We give an assured, consistent, and quality education with high values that the students deserve to become a better individuals for a better Philippines. So may I start my presentation? This is just very quick with a short videos.
Are you looking for the best online education at the most affordable school fees? Enroll now at Jose Maria College. Jose Maria College, under the leadership of its founding president, Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, holds true to its mission of providing assured, consistent, and quality education amidst the ongoing crisis on COVID-19. To ensure that all students will get the best learning experience, JMC provides an assured education with the most flexible learning delivery choices. To highlight the learner's wit and abilities, JMC is consistent in providing the best learning exposures with a student-centered showcase of extracurricular activities. Amidst the challenges of the new normal, JMC guarantees that quality education is not compromised through our learner-centered curriculum, highly trained and dynamic faculties, and state-of-the-art facilities designed to deliver the best learning experience to our students. We are proud to say that JMC is fully equipped for new normal education. What are you waiting for? Enroll now. Scan the QR code on your screen for more details. Your future is our mission. Enroll now.
All right, so I'm sorry for the audio problem, no? So as you have seen in the video, in the short video, so in the IBED or the Integrated Basic Education Department, as our pupils or students have experienced, no, excellence is really the norm of the school. So from the preschool going to the grade school, junior high school, and of course to our senior high school students. And we are very proud that the teachers of the IBED department are actually doing their best to maintain its norm of excellence to be delivered to our pupils or students, even in this time of the pandemic. And for those parents who have students soon to complete their junior high school no education, we will and soon will step forward into the next ladder of education, which is the senior high school. As you have seen on the video, we do offer actually, as you can see in our screen, we do have academic track. We are complete with that. So we have this STEM or the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We do also offer HUMS or humanities and social sciences, ABM or accountancy, business and management, and then the GAS or general academic strength for those who have not decided yet as to what course they are going to take in college. So we do have that in JMCFI. And for our technical and vocational livelihood track, we do have the HE or the caregiving, food technology, culinary arts, and business education, and the ICT or the computer science, game development, electrical engineering, multimedia arts for the, of course, TVL track. Ayan, so yun yung ating ino-offer dito sa JMCFI for those parents who have not yet familiar with the offerings that we offer here in the senior high school. And what is good here is that in the school year, for the school year 2022 and 2023, so grade 10 completers coming from a private school, just like the JMCFI, will only be paying just 4,500 pesos. That is for the whole school year. And there are no top-ups or extra school fees. Wala na talaga silang ibang babayaran. That is because of the gift of education scholarship that the founding president is offering to our dear students. So to our dear parents, since you are one of those motivators, that could motivate, of course, your children, no, to just maybe you can share this to your kids or to your students or to your children, of course, that we here in JMCFI, we offer this gift of education scholarship. So they will just be paying 4,500 for the school year of 2022-2023. That would includes also for grade 12 as well. And for our of course, here, for our college naman, incoming college, those who are currently in their grade 12, no, so we have a piece of good news as well because JMCFI has no tuition fee increase. And for as low as 1,000 pesos, our students can already enroll in JMCFI for the school year 2022 and 2023. And we are very proud to announce as well to our dear parents that our school has received the PACOCOA endorsement for certification to the Federation of Accrediting Agencies of the Philippines. And that is because we applied for the PACOCOA accreditation. And yeah, we are very proud to tell you that yun, very soon, makamit na natin talaga ang accreditation level 1 in JMCFI. Okay, so for college naman, just a very quick, no, I will just show you the programs or the courses offered in our institution. So we have the BS in Civil Engineering, major in Construction Engineering. So as you can see in our screen, we have included just a few of the job opportunities that a graduate of BS in Civil Engineering, major in Construction Engineering could get after graduation. All right, so we also have another BS in Civil Engineering, major naman in Structural Engineering, with the job opportunities as well. Again, these are just few of those many. And we also offer BS in accountancy for those who are very good in analysis and of course problem solving as well. Yan, pwede kayo sa accountancy. Another is we do offer also BS management accounting. Ayan, so we have that in JMCFI as well. Another program offering is we have the business, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, majors in HRMD, no, Human Resource Management and Development, BSBA, major in Financial Management, ayan, and BSBA, major in Marketing, ayan, Marketing Management. Okay, so yun yung sa ating BSBA course. Another program offering is that we also have BS in Psychology. Ayan. So as you can see, the job opportunities as well. And we do also offer BS in Social Work. And we are very proud as well to announce no, na in the recent board examination for social workers, there are a lot of graduates coming from JMCFI who passed the licensure examination for yun, sa social work. So congratulations as well to JMCFI social work family. Okay. And we also have BS in Criminology. So again, GMCFI. So we are again proud to announce that for 3 consecutive years, the Bachelor of Science in Criminology has a 100% passing rate, and that is again for 3 consecutive years. So kung yung mga mahilig gustong maging police officer someday, ayan, just enroll in BS in Criminology. Another program offering is that we also have BS in Information Technology. So again, those are just few of the job opportunities that you can get once you finish these courses that we have here in JMCFI. There are a lot actually. Marami talagang pwedeng ma-work na mapupuntahan ng ating mga graduates. We also have those who wants to be a teacher someday, no? Kagaya sa ating mga teachers sa MA-SPEd and of course college na rin. Ayan, we have Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. Ayan. And we also do have Bachelor of Secondary Education, majors in English. We do have major in Filipino, ayan, and mathematics. Yung mga magagaling din sa math dyan, pwede kayo dyan. All right. And another program offering that we have in JMCFI is the Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology. Ayan. So, very in demand din ito as of the moment. No, it's because of the pandemic. Ayan, marami talaga. And talagang need din siya. So, BS in Medical Technology. This is also one of the preparatory courses for medicine for those who want to pursue, no, mag-continue into becoming a medical doctor someday. And for this school year, no, 2022 and 2023, we will be opening another program. This would be a new program, the BS in Radiologic Technology. Ayan. So, di ba, mga nagpapa-X-ray tayo, nagpapa-CT scan, yung mga ganon, MRI, yun yung magiging work. And at saka, madami pa sa mga graduate ng Radiologic Technology. And this is also a preparatory course for medicine. Ayan. So soon, magkakaroon tayo dyan for this school year 2022 and 2023. So mga gustong maging radiologist dyan, enroll na kayo sa JMCFI. All right, so we also have, of course, for the graduate studies, we also have the College of Law, no? So just visit, College of Medicine, papala. Okay, just visit our page, Facebook page for the College of Medicine, JMCFI College of Medicine for more information. Okay, So the numbers actually is also flashed in your screen. And of course, we also have the College of Law here. We do have 5-year and 4-year programs sa College of Law. Mga JD programs ito. What is the difference between 4 and 5-year program? When we say 4-year program, their classes are from Mondays to Fridays lang. And then for the 5-year program, ang klase nila ay mag-start siya Friday and then Saturdays and Sundays. Kasi usually yung mga nag-enroll na rin naman sa mga graduate school ay yung mga nagtatrabaho na rin. Okay, so thank you so much. And okay, we are open for our online registration for the school year 2022 and 2023. So just visit our website at jmc.edu.ph/admission. So ayan, punta lang tayo sa ating website, and if ever you have even yung mga relatives nyo, again, JMCFI offers assured, consistent, and quality education with values that they need to become a better individuals in the future. So, papuntahin lang sila to register sa atong website. So, here in JMCFI, your children, of course, diba, the future of your children is our mission. Ayan, so thank you so much for this time that you have given to the marketing department to just share our program offerings to our dear parents as well as to our dear students. So see you again, Jay Marian, and see you in the school year 2022 and 2023. And again, be a J. Marian. Continue your studies in JMCFI. Thank you so much, Sir Ariel and the team. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Ma'am Jovi, for sharing your presentation from the marketing department. It is indeed very informative. And I guess madaming mga audiences dyan na gustong mag-inquire. So if you want to inquire more, please visit our page, jmc.edu.ph/admission. Or you can leave us a message through our Facebook page. Di ba? Tama ba, Ma'am Jovi?
Yes.
JMCFI or Jose Maria College
College
Foundation.
Foundation. Yes.
So thank you so much, Ma'am, for your
Thank you
time.
so much. Yeah, thank you din po. Thank you, Sir Ariel. Salamat. Okay, see you guys. J. Marian.
Yes, we
Thank you
would
po.
love to see you in this next school year because JMCFI believes that excellence is the norm. Okay, so once again, thank you, Ma'am Jovi. So right now, let's proceed to our ayan. Actually, I read a lot of overwhelming comments from the viewers. Ang daming mga comments na very insightful and touchy, kumbaga, kasi may mga parents pala na nagdi-deal din ng mga children nila or child with special needs. No? Ayan, from I would like to read some of the comments from the viewers. From Jolana Ferolino. Thank you, JMC. Thank you, Pastor ACQ and Ma'am Sharon for the very informative topic. Can we ask for a PowerPoint presentation? Um, yes, kasi para may mga viewers tayo na gusto pang mag-learn, can we provide ba the PowerPoint presentation given by our resource speaker? I guess parang pwede naman siguro, no?
Yes po.
Okay. So, paano ba nila pwedeng makuha, Sir Floyd? Paano ba nila pwedeng makuha yung presentation?
I'll be sending it to their class advisors regarding with the PowerPoint presentation. Yeah.
That is much easier. Okay, so yung presentation po is ibibigay ng mga class advisors and I guess the class advisors will be the one to share it with you. So thank you so much, Sir Floyd.
You're welcome.
And another one from Audrialian Salpuran. Thank you, Ma'am Sharon, for this very informative webinar, and to the JMC for giving us a chance to be invited. This is helpful for me as a parent to be more considerate to my children's needs. Ayan, totoo talaga. Kasi hindi lang naman to, generally it does not talk about with children na may special need lang. It works sa lahat. Sa lahat ng mga parents na may mga bata, sa lahat ng mga parents na babysit, especially to those parents na may mga anak na kailangan ng special attention and special needs. Ayan, from Joanny Largo, from Ma'am Largo. Yeah, nice topic, Ma'am Sharon. I believe most of us parents who are here can relate to the topic. and somehow give us a wider understanding on how to deal with our child's behavior and children around. Ayan, it's good to know no, na most of the viewers out there really know the purpose why we conduct this one. We were able to resonate the main purpose of this webinar, and that's what we want. Kasi yung mga target viewers natin is iba mga parents. So we want to let them know that may mga different strategies naman on how to deal with children, especially with special needs. But particularly, we want to specify what are the best strategies or tactics that you can give or that you can practice in order to have a greater communication and a greater rapport with your children. So that's good to know. Ayan, from Ma'am Crystal Colon, ayan, hi ma'am. I'm a parent of two boys who are in grade 1 and grade 8 here in JMC. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge about these problems among children and even adults that mostly undetermined. Thank you so much, Ma'am Colon, for your comment. Ayan. It is really a big honor no, from our end, especially the guidance team, and of course the JMCFI for inviting Ma'am Sharon to speak in this program. Yan, from Ma'am Jade is Al. Thank you, Ma'am Sharon, for imparting your knowledge on special education. This is very educational, especially for faculty and parents. Ayan, thank you so much, Ma'am Jade. Ayan, I hope we were able to impart the knowledge that we want to share with you, guys. And I hope that you can apply all the teachings, all the knowledge, the learnings that Ma'am Sharon have imparted to you para somehow we can build stronger relationship with our children. Okay? So, ayan, actually, madami pang mga overwhelming comments from the comment sections and from the viewers, but due to the time constraint, again, hindi ko na mabasa lahat. But if you have any questions, concern, or clarifications, you can just send us an email or not an email, but you can leave us a message through our Facebook page, the JMCFI Office of the Guidance Center. Ayan. Sa mga viewers naman natin, since we require you to fill out your attendance and of course the evaluation link, in order for you to get your certificate, please don't forget to fill out the link posted on the comment section. So lahat po ng mga viewers natin dyan, please don't forget to fill out the attendance and evaluation link posted on the comment section. Once you fill out that one, may bibigay kami ng certificate for you na nag-attend kayo ng webinar. So thank you so much. And right now, I would like to invite the head, the guidance counselor of Jose Maria College Foundation, the guidance head, Miss Eloisa, Ma'am Eloisa Estrella on screen. Hi, Ma'am Lois. For, ayan. So, ayan, parang may mga technical problems talaga. No? Ayan, black and white. Naka-black and, ma'am, parang naka-mute ka, ma'am. Parang naka-mute si Ma'am Loy. Ayan. Oh. Mute. Hindi naman. So, I guess, yes, ayan. You're here na.
I think we're having a problem with our LC.
Yes, as
Medyo slow yung internet connection dito sa area namin. So,
as expected talaga. Okay, so Ma'am Loy, I'll give you the floor to present and to award our resource speaker the certification of appreciation.
our certificate of appreciation. Okay. The Jose Maria College, Philippine-Japan Friendship Highway, sa City, Office of the Guidance Center, is given the certificate of appreciation to our resource speaker, Ms. Sharon Gabion, LPT, MA, MA-SPED, for sharing her knowledge and expertise as resource speaker in the parenting webinar Examining the Evidences Supporting Children with Special Needs during the JMC EduTrends live spearheaded by the Guidance Center. Given this 12th day of March 2022 at Jose Maria College Foundation Incorporated, Philippine-Japan Friendship Highway, Sasa, Davao City, Philippines. Signed, yours truly, your Guidance Center Head, Maria Eloisa B. Estrella, OSAS Director, Dennis R. Lazarte, and Dr. Marietta A. Muñez, our Vice President for Academic Affairs. Sharon, for giving us this opportunity for you to be our resource speaker today for our parenting webinar part 2.
Yes. So thank you so much once again, Ma'am Sharon. Ayan. Hello, Ma'am Loy.
You're
Ayan.
welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sa pag-unlock ng aming imbitasyon.
Sa ulitin.
Yes po, sa uulitin.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sa uulitin po.
Kasi JMC prepares a lot of tawag ito, webinars, especially in mental health aspects, children with special needs and whatnot. So I guess parang soon may-invite ka pa rin, sana may-invite ka pa rin namin to speak in one of those programs we prepare. So once again, ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am. Ayan. So I believe that we are now in the end part of the program, but I would like to leave a message or a quote that would impart to everyone. Kasi I've just realized as we go along with the discussion, with the webinar, sometimes parang na-realize ko na the sometimes superheroes pala is not the one who wears cape, but the ones who live in the hearts of the small kid, in the small hearts of the small children, fighting big battles. And they as they go along fighting with those battles, they need a little help, they need a little hope, and they need someone who believe in them. So as long sana pag nandun sila na nagfa-fight in their own battle, nandun tayo na mag-participate, nandun tayo na mag-contribute for their development and therefore well-being, kasi isa yun sa mga part na gusto ng bata, yung nakikita na may support pala yung mga taong nagsasurround sa kanya. And that, I guess, is one of the best achievement na pwede natin i-feel, that is very fulfilling as we go along with our journey. And that may also help us to become a better person. So, ayun lang. I am your host for today's webinar. I am Ariel Desades, ending this session with a message. Thank you and stay safe. Bye po.
Ang vision ko sa mga nag-aaral dito ay umangat kayo sa mentalidad ninyo not only to get a career from here or a profession from JMC, but you will also get your true education that will make you a better person because of values.
Ay,